And how's it going, guys and girls? Me, Uncle, welcome to my channel, and yet again we are here to play DDLC Blue Skies. Yes, as I said earlier, I'll be here playing now. Playing even more than I already play. So, let's go back and... okay. Wait a bit. Let's go. Most people typically see January as a pretty dreamy month. January blues, I think it's called. With the cold weather, the grey skies, the end of Christmas holidays, yeah, I can see it. Not this January though. I haven't been able to get Siri's kiss out of my mind. It's hard to believe she's actually my girlfriend now. And just 4 months ago, we hadn't spoken in years. Joining the club, discovering Siri feelings for me, and, well, finding out about her depression. The whole thing was just been so unexpected. And still there's a few days left of the Christmas break, and I know exactly how I want to spend them. After shooting Siri a text, I make my way over. What magical adventures are we gonna go on today? I'm glad you asked that, Siri. Today we are going to a magical snowy wonderland. Expect it to be a wild journey, filled with snow, snowballs and festive lights. She looks at me for a moment before bursting out laughing. Oh, you're so silly sometimes. Hey, it's not like you could come up with a good imagery on the spot. Try me. Okay then, I will see. Let's see what you can cap up with Miss literally expect. She thinks for a moment. We're going to go on the bold, daring adventure to a place brimming with magical lights, pristine snow and frozen icy fractals. You know what? I know when I'm beat. Siri grins with pride, puffing her chest out proudly. Although I bet you don't even know what half of those words mean. Did you really land you a Dizosaurus? What the fuck is that? I expected my jib to earn pout from her, but she stands firm. Don't be jealous that you'll never stack up to the Ice Queen. Ice Queen? Bold words from someone whose hands get cold super easy. Especially when this person accidentally leaves her gloves at home. That got her. Meanie. You can never let me win. I slide up next to her and plant a kiss on her nose. You love it, you love it really. Although the pout tells me otherwise, there's no denying that red blush creeping onto her cheeks. By the way, for our Secret Santa, who did you go shopping with? Nasky. That must have been an awkward afternoon. It wasn't actually. It's rare that I get to see Nasky outside of the club, so it was a really nice day out together. Girls' day out, hey? You could say that. She helped me out a lot when it came to picking a present for you. Oh, so did Nasky help you? That's a shock. Wait a minute. Okay, let's keep going. Couldn't even think of a present for me, some outside help? You're the one who admitted it was hard at the Christmas party. Checkmate. Since when was your memory that good? No fair. The Ice Queen never forgets. Yeah. She laughs as I roll my eyes. You really like that self-appointed title, don't you? It doesn't even make sense. You hate the cold. Does it bother you? Should I let it go? I can't believe you just did that. She giggled sweetly, playfulness in her laugh. Playfulness laced in her laugh. Yuri. Yes, you should let it go. It was a good one, come on. I don't have a bad sense of humor, you guys are the ones that are really hard to get laughter from. Anyway, she was really stuck on what to get to Yuri. There were the obvious choices like a new pen, a book, or something to do with tea. She was considering getting her one of those, but she said she wanted to go for something that wasn't so obvious. She can be really thoughtful when she wants to be. Yeah, I got that impression. The look on Yuri's face, man, she really wasn't expecting the lily after all. I would have thought Natsuki would have just got her a horror book and be done with it. Well, that's the thing. Natsuki said she likes to surprise people. Once you get past her prickly side, she really has a big heart. Not exactly hard to have a big heart when you're that small though, is it? Hey, it's a joke, it's a joke. Although please don't tell her I said that. Only if you buy me chocolate. That doesn't sound so... And maybe some cupcakes. Some cookies. I said cupcakes, why? Maybe some cookies. Anything else? A back massage, a Ferrari perhaps, a holiday cruise to the Caribbean as well. Well, now that you mention it, you would be so lucky. What are you gonna have, Sayuri? Her eyes whiz over the menu. Given the abundance of cakes, buns and other sweet foods, I'm not expecting her to reply any time this decade. Cinnamon buns again. No, actually, I think I'm gonna try the sponge cake. Looks soft and delicious. The genuine excitement on her face is so endearing to see. And to think this girl, the girl is adorable, is mine. After giving our order to a waiter, I can't help but reach across the table and take her hands in mine. She looks a little surprised initially, but soon rubs my hands with her fingers, smiling shyly. You know, that's something I've always loved about you, how adorable you are. Huh? Like even right now, you're getting really flustered, aren't you? Me? No. It took me a while to realize my feelings for you. Ever since that fickle fight we had back in September. I remember seeing the look in your eyes. We were in a really awkward position and you looked at me with a look I would never have seen before. Yeah, I remember that moment. I had no idea how to react. It was the first time we would spend time together outside the school in a while. I was really happy with that. Me too. Guess that was just the first day my feelings for you began to bloom. And over the months, those feelings grew stronger. You gave me a bit of food once and your hands brushed against mine. I remember thinking about how soft your hands felt. It took me totally off guard. Ah, so that's why you zoned out. I was wondering why you looked like you were in a trance. I wasn't the greatest at covering my tracks, was I? And you smell really nice too. I remember letting that slip when we were craving pumpkins. That doesn't really make sense. I hadn't showered that day. I don't know, maybe it's just your natural scent then. Man, that makes me sound really like a caveman, doesn't it? At least you're a very handsome caveman. Now it's my turn to get red, finding my weak spot. Sayuri grins and opens her mouth, no doubt eager to watch me flail for change. Thankfully, our moment of opportunity is interrupted by the waiter bringing us our food. Another huge smile appears on her face as the cake is put in front of her. It's really not hard to put a smile on her face, is it? Watching her eat, it is a sight to behold. It's almost like she is inhaling it, straight into the bottomless pit that is her stomach. What's the matter? Compliments making you turn red, hey? You know, it was really cute seeing how nervous you were when you warmed up my hands. You were stuttering and everything. Okay, I'll be right back. It's too cold for me to not wear a coat. Yay, I'm back. After destroying a bit of my scenario and trying to put it together, here I am back again to please you with my awful YouTuber skills. So, he was stuttering and everything. And something tells me it wasn't because of the cold. Guilty as charged. My master plan worked. I should have known it was all a ruse. Then again, I got to hold your hands. Got to hold hands with you. So aren't we both winners? Don't take my victory away from me, Meanie. Not taking it away from you, just sharing it. Is that wrong? I stick my tongue out at her. I'll give you credit though, the mistletoe plan was pretty flawless. I had absolutely no clue it was coming. That was so fun. So much fun to plan with the girls. You felt bad, but Natsuki and Monica were all for it. You looked absolutely terrified when you saw the mistletoe. Well, duh. It was nerve-wracking enough when we almost kissed before the others arrived. And then I had to do it with the three other people watching. That plan almost backfired on you, though, huh? Well, it was a first kiss too, right? Oh, yeah. Although I had advice for Monica beforehand on how to kiss someone. Yep, I didn't know you were meant to close your eyes. I stared. Even I knew that. I bet Monica had to teach you a lot, didn't she? Not legally obliged to answer that. I burst out into laughter. Hey, sorry. I'm just trying to picture how that conversation went down. Did you ask Monica how to kiss someone? Or were you meant to put your hands while you do it? No, I didn't. I kind of wanted to, though. I had no idea what to do, to be honest, and I was scared that I would mess it up. You know, it being your first kiss and all. And the more I thought about it, the worse I felt that I put you in a really awkward situation. It's really okay, I enjoyed the kiss after all. Plus, it was my first one as well, so I was hardly a pro. Really? Really? And you know what they say, practice makes perfect, right? Very smooth. As an hour or so later, we've both wound up in my living room. I'm lying on the sofa with Siri cuddled up next to me. Content as can be. You know, now that we are actually together, what are we meant to do? I have no clue. You're my first girlfriend after all. Don't get me wrong, it's really nice to just cuddle up together. But when you think about what couples do together, what comes to mind? Something that kids shouldn't do. I have to pause and actually think about this. Like go on dates? Which I guess we technically just did at the cafe. Sorry Stu, I'm really just as clueless as you are. You weren't so clueless when it was Yuri's road, right, mister? That's alright, guess we do have all the time in the world to figure it out. To be honest, I am perfectly happy with just to cuddle up together. Just being with you, no matter what we're doing, makes me happy. Ah, that's how I feel with you too, actually. Does that mean I can cancel the romantic getaway to Paris then? She pokes me in the side, but France is the romantic capital of the world. So, how much money have you got to spare, Sayuri? Yeah, just because I make a JoJo reference, that doesn't mean I always talk about power, but this one actually escaped from my mouth. Sorry. Yeah. Does that include pocket money I spent years ago? Yeah, sure. Maybe negative 200 yen then. Well, unless the plants are operated by really tired hamsters, I don't think we'll be going to France anytime soon. I really want an hamster. Why? What do you mean why? It's a pet. What would you call it? Stuart. Why? Because of that movie? Yep, Stuart Little. It's not a bad choice, actually. It was a nice movie. You know that Stuart Little was a mouse and not an hamster, right? Eh, what's the difference? Hamsters taste nice here. Nice. Is it bad that actually made me laugh? It means your humor is like mine, so take that as you will. That's definitely not a good thing then. Don't make me push you off the couch. You wouldn't dare. Oh, I've had a better idea. I sit up and without hesitation begin to tickle her mercilessly. The effect is instant. Sarah immediately begins squirming and laughing uncontrollably. Oh no, not this again. That's unfair. You didn't even give me a chance. If I remember correctly, last time it was you who initiated, so here's the taste of your own medicine. She's writhing on the couch, blue eyes shimmering with tears from her involuntary laughter. Okay, I'm sorry for what I said about your humor. Please just stop. As I'm a merciful soul, I abate ever so slightly just to give her a chance to catch her breath. Bad move. Suri lunges forward, pinning me beneath her. This bout of unexpected dexterity totally catches me off guard, and with a flump my body sinks into the opposite end of the couch. She wastes no time on dishing out some cold revenge, and within seconds my laughter and squirming was replaced by hers entirely. Oh damn, I did not expect you to be able to do that. She brings her face closer to mine, making sure I can see how smug she is, which actually gives me an idea. Darting forward, I plant a desperate kiss on her lips, and like with our previous kiss, this time my tongue is involved, slowly pressing against her top lip. The effect is immediate. Her hands go from trying to tickle me to slowly linking around the back of my head. As the kiss deepens, she slowly pushes me back down into the couch. Her body falls with mine. After a few seconds, I'm lying down with her body directly on top of mine. My mind is going wild, trying to process exactly what's going on. I only intended for the kiss to distract her, but ignited some kind of urge in both of us. I'm sorry. Yes, please, return. Let's go. Her body feels warm against mine, and with the sudden jolt, I'm very aware of a part of Sayuri, namely two parts that are pressed up against my chest. Huh. Needless to say, the atmosphere is completely charged. Neither of us know how to react. The silence continues on, with each passing second feeling like hours. We have the house to ourselves, her bodies pressed up on top of mine, and there's some kind of primal instinct stirring within the both of us. I open my eyes. Sayuri. She gently climbs off me. Sorry, I didn't mean to, it's okay, I just kinda happened. Yeah, okay, I think nothing will happen, but if something happens, I'll have to turn that on again. Anyway, I had a lot of fun today. It's a shame school starts tomorrow, though. Was hoping you wouldn't remind me. And we will be getting the results of our December exams back. January could go one of two ways. We'll be fine, I think. Only one way to find out. Anyway, it's getting late. Want me to walk you home? Sure. Thank God nothing happened. And here we are back in class. Man, the holidays really whizzed by in a flash. Seeing Sayuri in the mornings really makes a huge difference to how I perceive the school day. Am I a morning person now? Maybe she really is my sunshine. Just like her poem. She's really made me mushy, hasn't she? Wonder what Mom would think. Hey. Morning, Amy. Good Christmas break. So, did it work? Huh. Sayuri, are you guys together yet? Going straight in, I see. Well, are you? Yeah, we are. I knew it. Are you going? Well, I think that's everyone. As the last student makes their way in their desk, Sakurai puts down the register and stands at the front of the class. Hope everyone had a good break. There's a weak, lukewarm murmur. Ah, come on guys, you've got it easy. Our exams were before the break. Your exams were before the break. I used to teach at a school that had January exams. At least they had a reason to be unenthusiastic about returning. Anyone get anything cool for Christmas? Yeah, Mom finally caved and got me this new pair of running sneakers. Practical for sure. A friend of mine got me a plant. Not sure what it is about me. It screams flower man, but hey, life's full of surprises. Anyway, given I was supposed to start the lesson 5 minutes ago, let's begin, shall we? Sakurai looks like a teacher I would like to have in real life. I would substitute it for my programmation teacher, for sure. I hate my programmation teacher. He needs to die in the fire. Either way, let's keep going. Normally I would eat outside when it comes to lunchtime. Given how cold it's gotten recently, the outdoors doesn't particularly appeal to me right now. A lot of students opt to just eat in their own rooms, especially as the temperature drops outside. The club room is also a viable choice, and luckily is always free at around lunchtime. Over the Christmas break we suggested eating there in the club room, and despite Monica saying she couldn't make any promises, the decision was pretty much universally agreed on. With my stomach gurgling, I make my way over. Yuri and Natsuki are already here by the time I arrived. While they're not exactly best friends or anything, their friendship is much less shaky than it was 3 months ago. I could tell that Natsuki's thoughtfulness really touched Yuri. Hey guys. Romeo himself has arrived. Natsuki. Afternoon, look. Monika's not here yet. It's not much of a surprise, is it? You know, given how she has like 5 million extracurriculars going on. The door swings open and Sayuri walks through a cheery smile on her face. Hey, I'm so glad we all decided to be together for lunchtime. Looking back, I'm kinda surprised no one suggested it earlier. Well, it's a new year and a new start. All we need now is once again the door swings open and Monica waves at us, an apologetic smile on her face. Sorry, I had so much stuff to sort out. My teacher was talking to me about university applications. Already? But your second year of high school isn't even over yet. Monica sings and wearily rubs her temples, pulling out her food. Yeah, no, it's stressful to say the least. Plus I'm getting the results of my December exams back soon. Don't worry, Monica, I'm sure you've done fine. You've worked so hard. We all did. I would be inclined to agree. You're a model student and I know how much effort you put into your studies. Oh, please, I would love to have that kind of friends. For fuck's sake, I had a physics exam before this weekend, and I don't want to go to the next class because I know the teacher will tell us the grades, and for fuck's sake, I'm doomed. Oh wait, we won't have a next class. Now that I think about it, we won't have any classes about physics. That subject is ended for this year. Actually, something good going on. Yes. Oh my lord, I really. There is a god, I think. Monica smiles at their efforts but doesn't look wholly convinced. Oh, now that we are all here, I should tell you that we don't have a club meeting today. There wouldn't be much point given none of us have any poems to share. We can hold a session tomorrow though, if you guys are interested. I know we didn't hold too many last semester and that's on me, sorry. I had a lot going on. Yeah, I'm down for a meeting tomorrow. I'm probably a little rusty, so this will be a good chance to get back into it. I turned to Sayuri. We could write one together if you like. I'm still not as good as you, so this could be a good way to learn. Oh, that could be real fun. Tonight? Yep. Well, that's a two love but sorted. Works for me. Yuri also nods in agreement. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow then. She finishes writing something down in her planner. I also noticed that she is using the pen Yuri got her for Christmas. Judging by the shy smile on Yuri's face, it's safe to say she has also noticed. Monica suddenly stands up, swiftly packing away her food containers. Wait, you're leaving so soon? Yeah, can't really stick around. Need to talk to my parents about the whole university thing. They've been hounding me ever since exams season started. See you guys. And just like that, she's gone. Free time is foregone for her, isn't it? She really has so much going on. I couldn't fathom being in her shoes. The stress would be too much. Oh, those exams you have to take for university? I don't envy you guys in the slightest. Well, we don't have to take that exam. No, we don't take those exams until third year, but I think Monica has started her prep recently. Yeah, joys of being a first year, Natsuki. Couldn't count yourself lucky because you'll be in Monica's shoes before you know it. Wonder how long it will be until Sakurai is asking me the same thing. It won't be long, I suppose. Sakurai is always worrying about his students. That's another reason why I would like to have him as a teacher. The question lingers on my mind as the rest of the lunch break passes by. As the end of the school day arrives, I wander down the corridor towards Sayori's homeroom. Along the way, I spot Yuri leaving her own classroom. Hello again. Yuri looks away nervously, fiddling with a strand of hair. You don't have to, of course, but she stands there struggling to find the right words. What? If you would like to walk home together. Huh? Want to walk home with me? Sorry, it was a stupid suggestion, I don't know why I asked. It's not like I didn't want to do anything, just didn't expect you to ask. Haha, are you sure? I know you normally walk with Sayori and I wouldn't want to intrude upon that or anything. You're worrying for nothing, Yuri. Why would she mind? She more than merrier. The more the merrier. It's cool. I was just on my way to go and find her now, so feel free to tag along. Soon after I spot Sayori on the hallway, she looks curiously at Yuri trailing behind me. There you are. Give her a daring peck on the lips, causing her to blush. Hey, great, welcome. You're gonna be joining us this time, if that's okay. I hope it's no bother. Surprise flashes across Sayori's features, gone as soon as it's appeared. Oh. Sure, that's fine. Although I can't come with you guys today. Oh? My homeroom teacher wanted to talk to me about some stuff. So you two go ahead. I'll walk with you till tomorrow. Are you sure? Pretty sure we can wait. You're not in agreement. It's no bother. But Sayori shakes her head. No, there's no telling how long it will go for. Plus, I think it might be a long discussion. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay then. See you soon. Bye, Sayori. I'm pretty sure that Sayori is jealous. And this is her jealousy talking. It's slightly strange walking home with Yuri. Nothing against her, of course. It's just I would grown too used to Sayori being there instead. Although Yuri is still fairly shy, I've noticed that she's come out of her shell a little bit, especially since we went Christmas shopping together. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but why did you want to walk home with me today? Well, she looks away and sighs. It's just not so easy. I don't push it. If my fight with Sayori taught me something, is that you can never tell what demons people are internally battling. Given I still know very little about Yuri, it's definitely best to err on the side of caution. The Christmas period has always been a very family orientated, at least for me. For so long as I can remember, my parents used to put a lot of effort into making Christmas more memorable. Especially in this country, and the focus of Christmas is on spreading happiness. From what I read, Christmas is much more a festivity concerned with religion in Western countries. But I digress. Well, I would say Portugal is different, but nah. I think Portugal is actually both. It's religion related and not as well. At the same time, I would see it that way. Don't know how the rest of the Portuguese people see it, but I would see it like as religion related and at the same time not religion related, if you know what I mean. Well, either way, let's keep going. I haven't spent Christmas with my family in a while, and if you don't mind me asking, why is that? Yuri looks away, picking at her sleeves. I've noticed that she tends to do that when she's upset or nervous. They weren't around it here. There's a pause. I feel like there's more to her answer, but again, instincts tell me not to push it. The Christmas period was very lonely, as you could imagine. Going shopping with you, exchanging gifts, playing with all of the club members. It truly was the highlight of December. Although it was only temporary, when I got home I took out the peace lily that Natsuki gave me. It was such a thoughtful gift, but it was also bittersweet. That would have been the type of present that my parents would have got me. So while it was lovely to receive the plant, it was a reminder that my parents weren't the ones to give it to me. Hey, Yuri. I had no idea you were so lonely. If you told me this earlier, I would have loved to spend time with you. I had a lot of fun when we did our Christmas shopping. You were really good at company, and gave really useful advice. Ah, well, you and Sayori are a couple, and the last thing I would want to do would be intrude on that. However concerned way. Yuri, Sayori and I both like you. You're our friends. You've been how Sayori makes it her top priority to ensure friends are happy. You've seen. It's not a problem at all. I'm sorry to bother you with my troubles like this. It's just that I couldn't really talk to the other girls. Monica is constantly very busy, and Natsuki, well, our friendship has definitely improved since you first saw us argue, but not at the stage where you can be comfortable asking her to hang out. Yes, I've always been quite solitary by nature. And while I enjoy time to myself, sometimes it would be nice to spend time with another person, especially one as open-minded, as considerate as you. Not that I don't appreciate the other club members. It's just that, well, I haven't really spent a day with any of them where it's just us two. And while I think it's rather obvious, the social etiquette isn't an area I excel in. Hey, well, I'm glad you're comfortable around me and able to tell me about all this, Yuri. I know what it's like to be lonely. Last year, before I reconnected with Sayori and met all of you guys, I was pretty much alone too. I mean, I had classmates, sure, but we never really spent time together outside class. A lot of my free time was spent alone, and then my parents had a divorce, so that made it a lot worse. So yeah, I would hate for someone else to go through that, especially someone who is this good a friend. Give her a quick hug. Based on the look on her face, it's safe to say that she definitely was not expecting it. Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Nothing to thank me for. It's what friends do. Anyway, what are you up to tonight? Well, given the semester has only begun, I'm relatively free as I don't have any homework to complete. I've also started this new book. It's very popular, so you may have heard of it as well. The story revolves around a group of children, and they struggle against a supernatural homicidal entity which uses shape-shifting to exploit its victims' worst fears. Wouldn't it be it, the thing? It, the fucking clown that takes your fears and make them come to life with shape-shifting. God dang it. It typically takes the form of the deranged-looking clown. Actually, I have heard of that one. The kids later go on to fight the monsters as adults. Like 20 years later, right? Your eyes light up. I've always been meaning to get into it. Ah, well, I actually have a spare copy if you would be interested in reading it. Oh, well, that's a coincidence. If I've ever seen one, haha. Sure thing, I'll let you know how I'm how I'm finding it, if you would like. If that's something you would want to do, that would be lovely. Okay, this is not good. Well, this is me. Ah, okay. Guess Yuri really was engrossed in our conversation now that we're here. There's a wistful, sad look on her face, and she tries to hide by turning away. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for letting me walk with you. It's nothing, Yuri, and thanks for the book. I'll get started on it this night. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the first few chapters tomorrow then. She turns and leaves. As I absently watch her walk down the street, I can't help but wonder if there's anything more I could have done for her. In some way, the situation is like Sayori's, both girls struggling with an invisible adversary, and I was totally oblivious. Given Yuri's solitary nature, I suppose it was easier to see. I wonder if Monica and Natsuki are struggling with anything as well. Well, Monica is struggling with time, Natsuki is struggling with family, and Yuri is struggling with self-harm slash loneliness, and Sayori is struggling with depression, and we struggling with options. Given the later prickly nature, I don't think she would ever tell me. And with Monica, seems she's under a lot of pressure from her parents and teachers. This club isn't exactly the epitome of happiness, is it? There is no happiness can be found on the literature club, like Monica said in the end of the DDLC. After an hour or so later, Sayori texted me to let me know she was on her way. Man, her teacher really kept her for a while. Now we've settled down into the living room, pens and paper at the table ready. I can't decide what this poem should be about. Sorry, not actually that bothered about writing a poem. To be honest, I only suggest this so we could spend more time together. Really? A maneuver. I never maneuver myself, so I'm sitting directly behind her and wrapping my arms around her back. She giggles and leans backwards. Huh? But hey, I know. With a sec I detach myself and pull up the notepad in front of me, pen in hand. After a while we were both finished with our poems. Sarah wasn't kidding when she said that she does better in creative subjects. Watching her brainstorm and write her poem has proven to be a real eye-opener. Although not quite to the same extent as Yuri, Sayori really gets lost in her own little world. As she wrote, I was struck by how much attention goes into her work. For instance, she deliberately avoids cliché and has an interestingly varied rhyme scheme. Her language is emotive and effective, enabling the reader to vividly picture what she's talking about. It's easy to immerse yourself in the world she creates, and the best part of seeing the look on her face as she wrote. My poem obviously can't hold a candle to hers, but it was at least much more enjoyable to write my poem with her next to me. I wonder what that poem is about. Sayori? What did your homeroom teacher want to talk to you about? Oh, that. Well, I haven't been handing homework in time. I've just been, well, it's impossible to find the motivation to work on it sometimes. Haven't you thought about telling him about, well, your depression? I'm sure they would be a bit more lenient if they knew that what's actually going on. From their perspective, they probably just think you're being lazy. Maybe. That would be a lot of hassle. As she talks, I reach over to my bag and pull out the book Yuri lent me. Oh, what's that? Looks scary. Oh yeah, it's a book Yuri lent me when we were walking home. She just got into this book herself and happened to have a spare copy, just as I told her I always wanted to read this book as well. What a coincidence, eh? That silence for a few seconds. Did I say something wrong? Yes, you did. Siri? Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the front cover. Pretty creepy though. Huh? Another awkward silence. Hey, why did Yuri want to walk home with you? Why does she look angry all of a sudden? Oh, that? Huh. Not sure if I should tell Yuri about Yuri feeling really lonely. As good as their friendship is, Yuri's confession was rather personal. I can tell you. Or not? Well, it's personal. Okay, Yuri's just, well, going through some difficult times at the moment. And we're friends, so I guess that's why she wanted to talk to me. And you like spending time with her, don't you? I mean, yeah, isn't that normal between friends? Yeah, of course it is. I'm glad you two are get along so well. You're doing shit. You two also went Christmas shopping together, right? Yup, she's actually really good with suggestions. But she did take ages in the stationery shop. You think I would be used to that, given how long you spent at any shops that have candy? I playfully nudge her, but she barely responds. You okay? You seem a little tense. Oh, sorry, yeah, I was just thinking about all of the homework I need to catch up on. I should probably get going actually. No. Don't do this to me, game. Not again. It would be the third time in a row. I don't want to see what I think I'll see in this road. For fuck's sake, please don't. Oh, really? She stands up and heads to the door. You could always ask her to come over. She's better company than I am anyway. Huh? She closed the door and I'm left there, wondering what was all of that about. You're pretty dense, aren't you? Did I say something to upset her, or perhaps she had a fight with Yuri? You're that dense, huh? Even I that I'm sick right now. Know what the hell is going on. So, let's see. Sayuri has depression. It was a struggle to admit the feelings that she had for you. She's battling her demons and as well having a relationship with you, which for itself is pretty hard to have both at the same time. You're everything to her. She wants to spend all the time she can around you. Sayuri is like making it seem like she's always happy when she's not. It's something that she has, that most of the depressed people have. It's a mask. She's obviously jealous that someone else from the opposite sex is hanging out with her boyfriend. Guess that's pretty much normal. I think it would be easy to figure that out, buddy. You have my name, come on. Think a bit. I mean, that would explain why she seemed angry at the mention of Yuri's name. I'm too tired to think this one over. I'll ask her about it tomorrow. You don't need to think too much about it, pal. Come on, use the smartness you inherited from my body. From my body, no. For my name. From my name. Yuri. Come on. Feeling refreshed after a decent night of sleep, I'm patiently waiting for Sayuri. The winter chill really has no mercy, especially this early in the morning. Thankfully Sayuri isn't particularly late, and before we know it, we're on our way to school. Hey. Yes, Lady Sayuri, how can I be of service on this time winter morning? Was curious, who's your favorite club member? Not including you. I don't really have any, to be honest. None of them are as awesome as you. Come on, you've got to like one of them more than the others. Narrow my eyebrows. Where does this question come from? Another jealousy stuff. Why the sudden interest? I just wanted to know how well you're getting along with the others. Definitely not Natsuki for obvious reasons. I never got the feeling that she likes me. Plus, it's always really awkward when it's just the two of us. Spoke to her alone once last semester and it was a painful experience. What about Monica? Compared to Natsuki, we definitely get along a lot better. She looked super appreciative when I told her how much I liked the club, just before we performed. But to be honest, she's always been a little intimidating. I nervously scratched the back of my neck. You know, being the perfect student and all. Maybe I'm imagining it, but sometimes I get the impression that she might look down to me. Don't get me wrong, I definitely appreciate all of her hard work for the club and all. Much like Natsuki, we've never really spent time together, so I wouldn't really say she's my favorite either. So, what about Yuri? Unless I'm mistaken, Sayuri is trying really hard to appear nonchalant. It isn't working particularly well. Well, yeah, I would probably say her. I mean, I've got to know her a little better over the last semester. And she went from someone who could barely maintain eye contact with me to someone who agreed to shopping with me and when it was just us. I've enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell to allow me to see her real self, I guess. Okay. That's what I thought. Sarah, is everything okay? I noticed that you left kinda abruptly last night after we talked about Yuri. Did you guys have an argument or something? I really can't imagine those two having to fall out of all people. It's extremely rare for Sarah to get angry, along with the fact that their personalities don't clash at all. So, what could it be? Jealousness? Oh, of course not, silly. I was just a bit surprised at how friendly she's been with you recently, that's all. Given how she is, I'm just curious to, I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. Right, school is looming in sight, so unfortunately our conversation will have to end here. So, as you can tell, the 1930s were very important for European history. Countries all across the continent were experiencing significant changes both politically and socially. Now I made it my New Year's resolution to end my lessons before the bell rings, so we call it there. We call it there. Oh, by the way, could I have a word? You. Could I have a word, Luke? I swear to God, those must be the scariest words you could ever hear. From a teacher? Hell yeah. It depends on the teacher, though. Well, along with I'm pregnant, we have to talk, or it's not you, it's me. Hopefully things I don't hear from Sayuri. Especially that second one, Eep. What? I'm pregnant? Along with no, we have to talk. Okay. I think I would be more scared of I'm pregnant than we have to talk. But okay. I approached the front desk, awkwardly hovering by the side. I need to give you the results of your exams, so there they are. Okay. And I need to give you the results of your exams to that list. He pulls out a piece of paper and lowers his voice, as some students are eating nearby. You don't have to look like you've seen the ghost. My mind wanders back to the last October. Funny he should mention ghosts. For the most part, you've done well. Your grades in history, Japanese and English, especially, were satisfactory. Looks like being in that literature club has really helped, huh? How did you know about that? Look, please, I'm a wise old hole. Aren't you one of the youngest teachers in the school? He sighs dramatically. You can never let me have my fun, can you? Although your grades in the other subjects could be a little better, namely math and physics. It's not a cause for concern, but I know you can do better. Yeah, about that. Truth to be told, last semester was kinda hectic. Relationship stuff. Ah, Sayuri, how did you know? His eyes twinkles with a knowing smile. Anyway, you're a bright student. Well, when you want to be. So breathe a sigh of relief. I would recommend paying attention to the technical stuff from math and physics especially, and don't be afraid to ask for help when it's needed. Not everyone can excel at everything, but I have faith in your ability to bring your grades up. Thanks, sir. The past few months weren't easy. Relationships are tricky. So I'm glad I was able to keep up academically, at least. He pauses to study me, offering a shrewd smile. Of course. Just be careful not to make Sayuri jealous. From what I've seen, the literature club is full of girls. He chuckles to himself. Now you get it! Now I've got to go to a meeting that I have to pretend to be interested in. There really is no rest for the wicked. There really is no rest for the wicked. With a nod he turns to leave. As I turn to follow him, my brain keeps replaying his words over to me. Just be careful not to make Sayuri jealous. Fumbling for my phone, I notice it's a text from Monica sent to all the club members in the group chat. Hey guys, just been told that this club room is being used after school today. It's for a supervision session for people to talk to their teachers about their exams grades. Plus something very super important has popped up, which means that I can't make it. I'll do my best to rearrange it. Sorry guys. I mechanically shoot a reply while on autopilot. My brain is rearing a million miles an hour as I finally realize something I should have seen coming. Before I can say anything, Sayuri starts the conversation. So, my teachers gave me my exam results back. Oh, yeah. Can't really complain, I guess. Did much better than I thought I would for biology. For physics was a bit of a nightmare. Math wasn't great either. But on the wall, I think I've done okay. Sayuri, are you jealous of Yuri? The abruptness of my question along with the clash of conversation topic takes her by surprise. For a moment there's silence. A silence which grows heavier as I realize how tactless I was with my approach. You got it right, but you did it all wrong. Yeah. What makes you think that? You're my girlfriend and I know you for years. What would I have to be jealous for? She's trying to sound confident in her answer, but she's wavering in her voice gives her away. I know that we spent time together. The Christmas shopping and her walking home with me yesterday. Sarah turns away, so I can't read the expression on her face. When she replies, she's talking to the ground. I'm sorry, you seemed too happy with her and we're just friends, Sayuri. I would have thought you could see that. Don't you trust me? I'm not sure if I want to hear the answer. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I'm trying to believe that I'm worth your time. And then I hear about how she's your favorite member of the club, and you've really enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell. So that's why she was asking me. It all makes sense now. It Doesn't take a genius to see it. First the depression and now the jealousy. Jealousy, yeah. And when I asked why Yuri wanted to walk home with you, you said you couldn't tell me. Why? Because it was personal. I mentally smacked myself. Looking back, of course that answer must have sounded suspicious. I'm really sorry, didn't mean to sound like I adopt you or anything. Sayuri and I settled into my house. Once we were comfortable, I cut into the presser. No, Sayuri, it's not your fault. I didn't really see it from your perspective at all. Please believe me when I say that you're the only one I want. Yuri is a great friend, but that's it. The feelings I felt for her have always been platonic. I wrap her into a hug and she sighs. I stroke her. As I stroke her, she clings to me, hiding her face in the folds of my blazer. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I'm totally new to relationships, so I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. It's okay, I didn't think you were doing it to hurt me or anything. Okay, good, because I would never do anything to hurt you. I've been such an idiot. Yuri has been feeling really lonely recently. Briefly fills Yuri in on what Yuri told me yesterday. Not entirely sure if I should be telling her this, but at this point in time I'm much more concerned with complete clarity between Sayuri and I. Oh, so that's why. It makes a lot of sense thinking about it, although I can't help but think. She looks down at the ground again, nervously biting her lip. Can't help but feel that Yuri likes you. Eh, really? You can be really dense sometimes. There's a sad playfulness to her tone. Yes, really. She's trying to spend more time with you. She really appreciates your company. It's subtle, but I can tell by the way she looks at you. I think she gets attached really quickly. But you said she knew we were together and didn't want to intrude on that or anything. Siri? Maybe I was right then. About what? About me just dragging you down. What can I give you that Yuri can't? Oh boy, here we go. You cannot do the wrong approach with a depressed person. That's the worst thing you can do. What can I even give you that Yuri can't? You said it yourself, she's lonely, and if she was with you... Sickness hates me. Should be happy. She's smart. She's smart, she's really pretty, she's really elegant. And what am I? I'm just an airhead. I can't even find the time to get ready in the morning. I'm just a dead weight to you. You're so much more than that, Yuri. Even if Yuri was the most desirable girl on the planet, I wouldn't give a damn, because you're the only person I want. You know something? When I was walking with Yuri yesterday, I couldn't help but wish that it was you. That was you I was with. I was only the one. It was only the one time we didn't walk together, but one time is all I needed to realize how much I enjoy walking home with you. So what if you can't find the time to get ready in the morning? You're still beautiful even when you don't try. Ah, you're just saying that though. I swear on my life that I'm being 100% genuine. These are the things I've always wanted to say to you, but I've never really known how. And that's not all. I wake up every day and I feel so goddamn lucky knowing that you're my girlfriend. You've always been there for me when I needed it the most. Don't think I've never told you how happy you make me. I pull her in for a kiss. She clings close to me and I can sense the urgency in her to touch. It's impossible to describe how it feels to hold her in this moment of vulnerability. Don't really care about how elegant Yuri is. If I'm being honest, that's her, who she is. I much prefer how quirky, your quirkiness and how silly we can be together. We have that link that no other girl in the world can say they have. We really do have the history together, don't we? A history that I would never trade for anything. Hey, please don't leave me. I know I'm being selfish for asking that. You're not. It's still so confusing, but when I'm with you I feel warm inside and I think that, well, just for a moment, that maybe everything will be okay. I can't really understand why you care so much about me, but I'll trust you. I'm glad, Sayuri, I really am. But if I'm honest, she looks up at me. We can't do this alone. I think we should look in getting you some therapy. She looks away. I'll obviously always be here for you, but I'm just a normal teenage guy. There's only so much I can do. I don't know. Why not? You're just really scary though. Don't want to go through all that false hope again. Again, I've tried therapy and antidepressants before. Back when I was first diagnosed with depression, everyone told me it would work. They told me that I would feel okay again, but it never happened. I was much younger back then, and everything was a million times scarier and more confusing. All of those tests, all of the questions, the drugs. All the questions, all the drugs. I didn't know what was wrong with me. The whole thing was terrifying. What I would give to be a medical professional right now? Well, Siri, I had no idea. I wouldn't have expected you have known. Would you believe me if I said things would be different this time around? And how would you know that? I wouldn't, at least for sure. If we leave this unchecked, how would things ever change? I know it must be really hard for you, believe me. I can only imagine that's what you're going through. I'm totally getting, and I totally get why you would be reluctant to try again. But I promise you that this time I'll be here. You wouldn't have to go through all of it alone. I squeeze her hand. Well, we'll get through it together, remember? But what if it doesn't work again? We'll find a doctor or another therapist until it does then. Not going to be easy that no, not going to be that easy though. I know, but I'm never going to give up on you. So I don't care how long it takes. You're so selfless, I know much you care for other people's happiness. But I want you to be happy. Do I really deserve that though? If other people deserve happiness, why don't you, Siri? Just ask yourself that. Please? For me? Okay, for you. It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Finally, I feel like I'm alone in trying to help Sayuri anymore. I feel like I'm not alone in trying to help Sayuri anymore. I know that must have been a really difficult thing to agree to. I'm really proud of you. You're much braver than you realize. Although, I haven't been too pushy or anything, have I? I want to encourage you, not force you. It's something that I would have had to try sooner or later, I guess. Well, there's always the chance that therapy might fail again. It's also the only way I could potentially get better. See, that's the spirit. She doesn't look wholly convinced, but smiles anyway. I'll do it for you. I'm not going to hold my breath, but if it makes you happy, I'll give it a try. That's all I can ask for now. I mean, a lot to me. It means a lot to me that you would be willing to try again. Well, let's hope this time works out a little better. Anyway, I'll talk to my doctor tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. Oh, and Siri, I can come with you to your therapy sessions if you want to. Are you sure? Would they let you? I think so. I mean, if you tell them you're okay with it, I don't see why not. Just keep me updated, okay? Wouldn't want to miss your first session. Okay then, and thank you, it's kinda daunting to start, so having you around should hopefully make it much easier. I'm just glad I can help. Yay, things are working out good at one road for at last. Before I know it is weekend already. The weekend already has arrived. It's been a few days since Sayuri agreed to try therapy. With a slight nudge from me, she spoke to her doctor who managed to arrange for her first therapy session tomorrow. As relieved as I am with such a speedy response, I'm still fairly apprehensive. Seeing how pervasive her condition is, interfering with her ability to get homework done, twisting her self-perception. It's been daunting, I can't lie. I guess just seeing how serious depression is has been a shock to my system. Part of me does worry that somehow I'm getting involved. That somehow me getting involved is actually a bad thing. Perhaps I'm somehow making it more complicated. Do I really know what I'm getting into here? No, look, don't listen to that silly irrational side. Let's look at the positives. She agreed to get some help, so this is the first step to recovery. Yeah, that's true, plus I'm going with her, so at least we're making this step together, right? It should be fine. Being a chronic over worry truly is a curse. Being with Sayuri makes me happy. It's best to focus on that, then stop worrying about what could go wrong. Because if I constantly focus on the negatives, well, that's no good for anyone. Stay positive, optimistic outlook. Optimistic outlook. Optimistic outlook. After completing my morning routine, I find myself sitting at my kitchen, aimlessly wondering about how to spend the day. One of the drawbacks of your first relationship is that you don't really know what you're meant to do with your partner. It's the call to spend much time outdoors, so we are limited to the indoors. I check my watch. 10:40 a.m. 10:14 a.m. Pretty early, Sayuri wouldn't even be awake yet. As my gaze at least settles on the used plates in front of me, an idea hits me. Oh, Sayuri would love this. About half an hour later, my work is done and carefully placed into a bag. I make a trip over to her room, hoping that she's still asleep. As I was hoping, she's fast asleep. No surprise, given it's not even 11 yet. As I approach her, I am struck by how cute she looks when she's sleeping. Wait, that didn't sound super creepy, did it? I mentally cast this myself. Stop being so weird. But the way she's curled up into a ball, even with her hair being a mess and a slight trickle of drool leaking from her mouth, she's perfect. Don't think there's any way that this girl could ever look anything less than beautiful. The light sounds of her snoring turned my light smile into a heartfelt grin. Setting down my bag, I quietly walk over to her and gently brush a lock of hair that's fallen into her mouth. She stirs slightly as my hands brush against her forehead. Wakey wakey, sleepyhead. 5 more minutes. Made you breakfast? She quickly sits up and rubs her eyes, hugging the blanket closer to her. You didn't have to. Can't help but feel disappointed and slightly irritated by her reaction. I was really looking forward to seeing how exuberant she would be. What time is it? Like 11? Yawning, she pushes the covers off and sits up. She still looks quite tired. She gingerly opened the bag and forces a smile into her face. You can't thank your dear sunshine poem for inspiration, especially that last time. God, I'm so selfish. I have such a thoughtful boyfriend who's been super considerate and made me breakfast in bed, and I can't even thank you properly. You went through all this just for me. Anyone else would have been appreciative, and here I am, yet complaining that you're here. Huh? No, it's not that at all. I mean, yeah, I was hoping you would be a little bit happier to see me, but... Well, it's kind of me it's kinda on me for forgetting how difficult mornings can be for you. Don't worry about it. I can tell that my words haven't convinced her in the slightest, and I don't get the feeling that you don't want me here. Relax. She slowly starts chewing on the food. It's really good. It's pretty basic stuff, to be honest, but I'm glad you like it. Natsuki's cooking has nothing on me, as you can see. How is it that you can make me laugh even when it's the last thing I want to do? Magic, I think. Maybe I was a comedian in my past life. It's a question that science has been trying to answer for the past 100 of years. By the way, can we just have a lazy day today? Don't really feel like going outside or anything. Fine by me. After she finished eating, we made our way back to mine. We've pretty much resumed our standard activity to cuddling on the sofa. Maybe my earlier worries were unfounded after all. We're both content in just being in each other's present, regardless of the activity. I'm aimlessly flicking through the movie channel on TV. I whip out my phone. Hi, what's up? Not much. Yuri carries on typing and she's taking an awful long time to reply. Get the feeling that she's plucking up the courage to ask me something. Well, I was wondering. Go on. Would you like to discuss the book with me today? I haven't read much of it, to be honest. I think the movie version is on Netflix, though. Hang on, let me check. What's up? Oh, you know that your book lent me. I'm checking to see if it's on Netflix. We're gonna have a horror night now? Horror night? Well, I thought I'd let her know my thoughts about the book with her. Well, I haven't really read enough of it to really discuss it. But if I can find it on Netflix, then though we can all watch it together instead. Oh, here it is. Oh, are you okay with it? Of course. I would be a terrible friend if I stopped her from coming over. Other people are out there having tough times too. She shifts her attention to the television, a wan smile on her face. Okay, I figured that you were here too. If you were here too, you wouldn't feel like I was, I don't know, living rot or anything. It's fine. Dear God, that clown looks even uglier on the big screen. I've never liked clowns. Good news, I found it. You can come over. And Sayori is here too, by the way. Or she said I wouldn't be interrupting anything. Nah, she said she's fine with it. It's all good. One text later, and Yuri is waiting outside my door, book in hand. Hey Yuri, come on. Yuri is in the living room. Good afternoon. Thank you for suggesting this, by the way. I haven't seen the movie version yet. Yeah, neither have we. Should be interesting. Hey Yuri. Yuri smiles in greeting. I've heard good things about the film adaptation, so I'm hopeful that this will be enjoyable. Only one way to find out. As predicted, Sayori's massive chicken jumping at a very loud noise and suspenseful scene. On the other hand, Yuri seems totally engrossed into the movie, never once looking away during a ominous scene. For the most part, it's difficult to read her face as she remains fairly impassive, although a look of wonder and interest occasionally flickers across her face, especially when the monster is on the screen. It is definitely one of the better horror movies I've watched, granted that it's not saying much, as I haven't seen too many. I have to admit, the acting in this film really sells it. Both the clown and the young kids who serve as the protagonists are brought to life really well. Oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go in that creepy building. Ah, why would you go in there? It's just a nightmare waiting to happen. She ducks behind a cushion, only peering out intermittently. Something that she took to doing once the clown was first introduced. I laugh and pull her closer. She cuddles into my shoulder, turning her face so she can still see. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri quickly throwing us a glance. For my periphery vision, it's hard to tell, but she looks a little sad. A grimace a little. Really, I forgot how isolated Yuri feels at home. Watching Sayori and I cuddle probably is a painful reminder. Especially if Sayori's prediction about how Yuri feels about me is true. An hour or so later and the movie is over. It's been really interesting to hear Yuri's thoughts, not just on the movie, but on the horror genre on the whole. And that's something I admire about both of the book and the film, how both approach and present the main theme of fear. A lot of film adaptations of book tend to over-sensationalize the content, and many horror movies rely on cheap jump scares to elicit a recitation. Of course, there's nothing inherently strong with a jump scare, but I find the best horror tends to really get under your skin when it makes you think. Well, after you're finished. Yeah, I agreed. Jump scares just annoy me. Really, they startled you, sure, and the build-up can be tense. But from what I've seen, horror movies make it really obvious when one's coming up. Well, you got that right. The music goes really quiet or really spooky. The character is in a dark place. Indeed, sadly, it's quite a common occurrence with modern horror. There's not much left to your imagination. Can't help but notice that Siri has been very quiet throughout the discussion Yuri and I are having. You okay, Siri? Don't really have much to say. You two carry on, I'm fine. She's looking absentmindedly at the screen. It's unfortunate that the second part of the movie isn't out yet. It's like being able to only read half of the book. The second part is about how the characters come back to fight this clown when they're adults, right? Indeed, and that's where the plot really shines. Anyway, I have some errands to get going on with, so I'm going to have to leave. Thank you both, by the way, I really appreciate it. That's okay, Yuri. I hope you're feeling better. He returns to me. Oh, did you tell her? My face grows hot. In my haste to To reassure Sayuri that nothing was going between Yuri and I totally forgot that Yuri's confession was likely confidential. Oh damn, yeah I did. Sorry Yuri, I didn't realize it was private. It's okay, I suppose it's only fair that there's clarity between two people in a relationship. Whew, I'm glad Yuri is so understanding. Anyway, I'll see you two on Monday. Goodbye. See ya. Bye Yuri. As Yuri leaves, I turn to Sayuri. She's looking a little real full. I hope you were right about the therapy. I am dreading tomorrow. It's going to be fine, don't worry. I hope so. I should probably get going as well. I'll see you tomorrow. And with the wave she departs as well. Okay, as my eyes can slowly open, I can't help but feel nervous about how today will go. Can only imagine how nervous Yuri is. It's such a big step for her too. I just hope it goes well. Hey Sayuri, ready to get going? Is Sayuri ready to get going? Yeah, she's a little quiet and not quite as chipper as she usually is. The journey to the clinic is a quiet one, thankfully it's only a short walk away. Well, that was interesting. Her therapist was incredibly patient and empathetic, never once being insensitive with his questioning. He spent the majority of the session getting a picture of her current situation, to which Sayuri was generally compliant. I think that after she told me about her depression, I might have become a little bit easier to talk about it, given I was the first person she confessed to. She didn't look entirely comfortable, but after a few reassuring smiles from me, she was able to answer his questions. The session passed by relatively quickly, and before we knew it, it was already over. Sarah is quiet as she breaks the silence. I've heard a few horror stories about people who get really insensitive therapists, and I was really scared that he would be one of them. But he was really patient, so that could have gotten a lot worse. She trails off into silence. Really proud of you, Siri. I know it must have been really hard for you to do, but what with how confusing all of this can be, it really makes me happy that you're doing this. I'm glad to hear that, really am. By the way, can we spend the rest of the day together? Don't want to go home just yet. Of course we can. Cuddling up on the couch it is. After swinging by the shops to get some snacks, we find ourselves back in our typical cuddling spot. It's rather quiet between us, even, I suppose, after the therapy session. There's a lot to take in for both of us. Tagging along on the session raised too many questions in my mind, though. Now isn't the best time to ask them. Hey Siri, yeah, why don't we play something? We don't have enough people for board games though. Nah, I didn't mean board games. Remember when we used to play video games together when we were kids? I've always found video games as a really good way to escape reality. Last year when I was really lonely, I found it helped to take my mind off things. Plus, there are some games I have that I think you might enjoy. She sits up. Sure, that could be fun. What games were you thinking of? As it turns out, I still have some of those games we used to play. Do you remember Kazooie? Oh, the one with the bear. Uh-huh, yep. Yep, that's the one. Let's give it a whirl. I was hoping gaming has proven to be a wonderful way to get her mind off therapy. Gosh, I really need to get better on my English. She's really lost in the colorful immersive world with her face scrunched up in determination. At first she wasn't very good at the game, struggling with the controls, getting lost and generally being unsure of what she's meant to do. Although after a few pointers from me, she really started to pick it up and was soon getting the hang of it. Sorry, Sayuri can be really good at things when she puts her mind to it. It's almost uncanny how skilled she can be, not specifically, but especially as it contrasts against the airhead vibe she can give off. Aha, I knew it, I would find the jigsaw piece here. I laughed, she's having a great time and it's heartwarming to see her so happy. Even if it's over just a video game, nothing will ever beat seeing Sayuri smiling. You'll never know just how cute you are, Sayuri, huh? Just seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I swear that nothing will ever change that. Ah, not that I'm complaining or anything, but where did all of this came from? Truth be told, I'm not sure. Being with her in the therapy room just now was quite eye-opening for me. Not just because I got to see how therapy works, but because it's really dawning on me that she has depression, and this is something she can't deal with alone. Of course, I believed her when she said she was depressed back in November, but well, meeting the therapist and watching him do his job really drove the point home. I'm obviously really glad she's seeking help, but it's made me think. She's been depressed for a long time and I've only recently came back into her life. So what was life like for her while we weren't friends? Probably awful and super lonely. Loki? Are you there? You're looking kinda sad. What's up? Her bright smile does nothing for my guilt. Wait a bit. Hmm. Hmm. Her bright smile does nothing for my guilt. I'm sorry, Sayori, but I'm really sorry for her, silly. We've only properly begun to hang out not too long ago, right? Since September? Yeah. She pauses the game and sets the controller down, sensing the urgency in the situation. And you've been depressed for so many years, but I wasn't there for you. We've drifted apart all because